in what has been a pretty interesting back and forth fight between the bears and the bulls here. We do have a little bit of hope here that we don't have to bounce down to the next layer, but it's still interesting. We haven't gotten out of this range as of yet for XRP, but we've definitely found ourselves, we're in an interesting dilemma here. It's like we've been saying ever since it made this drop down. Is it going to validate this uptrend and just make sure we hold here? It's happened on these bounce downs, and it started to give us hope on the push out. We held the 200-day in the daily, and this looks like a second daily in a row here all of a sudden, where this could be a bullish reversal in the short term, but we haven't broken out past that 220 here in current terms to be able to get back out of this pattern. Like, we broke out of this initially, and where we're unable to hold it on the back test. Now, the shorter part of the pattern, I can take this away so we don't confuse everybody, right? Just for the moment, so you can get a better idea here. And we know the $1.98, but just for what it is, and I'll even get rid of this 214 to get it out of the, whoops. Shit. Well, now I got to put that back, but I was going to get rid of the 214, which I will, to get it out of the way. But we can see where this pattern broke out, and now how we're back testing this, and we fell back underneath it for a brief moment and broke out. And then when you start looking at it deeper, I just wanted to show you how we had it before. This is how we had the short pattern, then it broke out here. But for where we're at now, what we're measuring is right here. This is the longer part of the pattern. This is like the wick up, and this is how it meets like this. But there was two different ones we had on. I took the other one off now just for ease of understanding. And let me turn this back. A yellow. Good enough. And now let me get past the 214. So it's something like, let me make this to where it's supposed to be. Right about, could go a little bit higher. I want it as high as it can possibly go. For it to break out. It's something like that. Like, we're right on the cusp here. Like, we're literally right on the verge. So, in real time, yeah, see, we're right there. We're stuck in between, but I think this makes it a little bit easier to read. Still over 220 we need to be. And we're trying to confirm this breakout of this little descending triangle, a kind of descending wedge, some could say, I suppose. But it fell back to that uptrend, and that's a good validation if this is an inverse head and shoulders. And I'm starting to see a lot of corroboration around the market here. Like, there's two in particular that, and it's like, Data's the same way. Data's one that I'm looking at very closely because I'm looking for that confirmation, because if it held the back test, but there's a few of them that if I'm looking at, like Filecoin, it's got this inverse head and shoulders here that I'm not sure what to make of it. It's so severely undervalued, and if you just look at it in the daily sense, like, I'm starting to see this start to line up across the board here in certain different ISO, or should I say IoT tokens, but you're starting to get this formation, and it's like, are we doing this bottoming? Is this like a bottoming here? And then, like, Theta's the same way. Theta's the same way. Like, I looked at it, I'm like, oh my fucking, it's not even just the way it's doing it. Watch this. There's actually 4 spots to this reversal. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if I go back to file, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you can see how this is starting to happen. And it's like, if this is reversing here, we've got a big move up coming pretty quickly here. So that's why we need to be careful. Like, I wasn't willing to tell anybody to buy before we got confirmation. This could be where we're starting to get some confirmation. We just haven't quite pushed past confirmation levels. You're kind of taking it on a, I don't want to say a whim, but you're kind of taking a leap of faith right here if you're doing something. And it's the same thing I'm seeing with Data. Like, we drew it out like this, but it very well might not have to come as far down as we said. And it could be, and now I'm starting to think like what we're seeing with these other ones. And now watch. Let me get rid of this because it's in the formation right now. Like if we connected it like that, it's in the formation right now. And the confirmation would have been getting up above that. Oh, it's horrible that I have it in orange. But look, I'll put this in yellow. But that orange line is where we needed to get back over for a little confirmation. You see how we're squeezing it right now? That's at 0143. That's the confirmation line that we could start pushing up. And that's where it was either it was going to break down or I wanted it to hold there so that I could get back above this resistance on this wick, and then it would go up, wick, up. And then when it was here, it went down below it. But we held this and we formed this little, this is bullish. I don't know how else to put it. This formation, if it holds it, because of how it set this second layer, this would be extremely bullish. We didn't know if it was going to set it up like this, which it still could, because I can argue that you could run it down and you could still form something. But if it holds it like this, and this is where it has to end, this is fine, because it's almost like, watch this. It's like this layering, and I'm starting to see this, and I love having pattern recognition like this. But watch what's happening again. Remember the 4 that we seen on Theta, Filecoin, and this is all going to make sense when we get back to XRP. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now is it coming around? Like, is this what's happening? Like, it's finally started to slow down, running out of, and now it's starting to have a higher low. If that's the case, then all of a sudden we're going to be doing this again, and we're going to say, oh, do you see how it went up? And then we had another wick style here, and we're like, oh, well, look, there's another one. And that would be the collaboration and the validation when we got out there. But we're trying to front run this. So, like, I don't care about the micro move that's happened so far. I want to see if I can capitalize on the macro part of this move. Like, on ZVCN and MXC, I didn't hit the very bottom of those moves. I came close. But it doesn't matter. You just have to be in the right spot for the reversal. And this is where I'm trying to... I don't want to jump the gun. Because if we jump the gun, we're going to do it, and it's going to be about a 30% reversal on us. And then we're going to say, oh, shit. So it's worth, you know, paying attention here. But I'm starting to see a lot of this across the board. And the one that gets me, where I think they're trying to trap us almost in the bear trap, how we've been talking, but we don't know how far it goes. But Ethereum... You can't convince me that that's not a bullish setup here. Like, I've already marked this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see what we just did with data? On the 1, 2, 3, and the 4th would be somewhere around here. That's exactly what we just did with data. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be here. Up. And then if it does hold, maybe it comes down farther. But that's a golden cross there in the daily on Ethereum. Looks like a flag there. Definitely an inverse setup. And that's right below the rising channel, or the rising wedge. And I think it's starting to get ready for a big move up. And we know it is. It's just a matter of how far did we have to come down. It came down to our first layer. And it seems to always do that. And then we have to make a decision. And last time we made the right decision by going with it. This time it almost seems like we're back to that position again. Like we're back there again. So I'm going to go through the comments. I'm going to see what everybody's saying. But please, just remember with XRP, I tried to make this a little easier, but we're stuck in the shit zone right now. That's a bear trap. That's a bearish trap there if we get stuck, because it's going to rotate down. So we just have to pay attention here. Okay? But that's what we... No, this doesn't change anything of what we're expecting. We're still stuck in the shit zone. I'm saying if this turns into a bullish reversal... Then obviously we have to see. We're trying to be forward thinking. But the move to under $2 isn't guaranteed. It never was. It's only if this first level didn't hold. This first level held. We held the 200-day. So now we have to look at it forward thinking. So if this is going to be a move up, that's 2 daily candles in a row that make me comfortable. So we've still got time here. About an hour left. If we get over 219.70 and close, we're in good shape. He's out. He'll be perfect for tomorrow at 7 o'clock. That's a good time, Julie. So, yeah, so don't overthink it. Don't underthink it, but, you know, think. Think here. What's happening. So, This is where we have to be on the ball and we have to pay attention. This is why every single day is just as important as the last. And when my website's available, it's going to be soon. Make sure you follow it because YouTube gave me a warning. They took a video down and gave me a strike, which is counted as a warning from a video I put up in February of 2024 live. And I think it's kind of a kick in the nuts because I lose a lot of viewership because I don't FUD it up and I don't give unrealistic expectations. So a lot of people hate me because I don't lie to them like other people. Well, they took my video down and claimed that I was giving unrealistic expectations. Do you know why? Because there was a 3,500% candle spike in the volume spike in a certain time frame, and it was an anomaly in a sense because XRP spiked. There were 6 to 10 candles, and I remember this back last February where we had an unbelievable spike in volume. It just came out of nowhere, and it caused somewhat of an anomaly. So I put it in the title, and then they decided that live gave unrealistic expectations about what was coming, and or some gains or some crap. I don't know. So if anything ever happens and I'm gone for a week, that's why. If they ever ban me, but I'll just be back. And then I'm on TikTok, XRP Future Millionaire. But I encourage you also to follow me on Facebook, XRP Future Millionaire. We're about 5,000 followers there. Because if it's up to me, I would probably go there. The only difference is it's not going to be screen recorded like this. It would have to be on my touchscreen behind me because of the way the technologies work on both those platforms. So that's the difference. But so yeah, so just make sure you're in the Telegram. There's 300 and something people in there. So if anything ever happens, you'll still be able to get a hold of me. We'll still be able to do, I would just do my updates in the Telegram and then put it out to the other platforms until I could come back. That's all I would do. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so I'm going to stop with the hot topics for the next few months until this warning is gone. We'll just focus on crypto. So let me go through the comments here. So that kind of catches everybody up to date with what's going on. Shane, good evening. Crypto Cooter, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Joseph, good evening. Can you go over the steps for selling a crypto on BITUNIX and getting the funds to your bank account? Of course, I'm not asking for personal. No, you can't. Okay, so when you sell on BITUNIX, you can't send it to your bank account. That's why I always say from exchange to exchange and or wallet, you have to have another exchange that you're sending it to be able to be verified to withdraw it. This is a mediary. It's like a middleman. They give you the asset to buy, but they're not letting you send it off or being able to send or receive from your bank. Like that's not going to happen. At least not in my knowledge. So I use crypto.com where I'm verified, and I use it as an on-off ramp because they have the crypto debit card, so I'm using them as the on-off ramp. Or you can send it, if you have a way to send some Bitcoin or something to somewhere else. But that's how that works. Luke, welcome in. Let's see. Yes, Uphold charges enormous fees. So do a lot of others. Both have fees, I thought. You'll have to deal with whichever way you find best, my friend. Black Ox, I bet Michael Saylor has a big ol'... Let's see. Make XRP great again, welcome in. J Freemax, welcome. AUB, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Frankie Fresh, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor, along with the Cannabis Podcast. Great show he has there as well on YouTube. Make sure to follow him. Jason Whipple, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your 2nd month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. It says you are in Texas. Started me drive home and got you happy people on the speakers. Excellent. Drive home safe, my friend. Mo, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Hola, my friend. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine and a very trusted mod. Jason Whipple, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your 2nd month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Hey, your poor spelling was easy to read. I like that southern accent. Made me sound southern. Gator 3618 and Big Dog, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for your 1st month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And I know it's the first month because that's my face superimposed on there. Let's see. Does it look like a head and shoulders on the daily? Seems like they are two right shoulders. I mean, that's the speculation right now. Is the inverse part of this going to play out? Because it kind of seems like to me it might. But there's definitely the possibility of the head and shoulders. It's just looking at, you know. It wouldn't let me watch. Took like 20 tries. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. UK Phil, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. We still got to have our future Fortnite match. MC Prosperity, welcome in, and good to see you back in here, my friend. Long-time viewer right there. Will Rob, good evening, my friend. Let's see. Crypto Cruiser says, I've been watching that in very inverted head. I think you're talking about the inverted head and shoulders for a little while now. Fucking nailed the shoulder perfectly. And it looks like it's getting ready. I mean, it's so crazy. John Bugathorpe, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Arichi Farms, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Let's see. Who else did I miss? CJ2 Pilot, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Papa Wheelie, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. I used my dry powder on data because of the double bottom. Made me scared was going to pump. When it goes up, I'll cash out my extra. I have to hold my bag and dry powder again. I know I'm looking at data, and I forgot to log into my BITUNIX on my tablet, which sucks because now I'm not going to be able to go on it because I certainly can't log into it with all you fine people watching me. No, not that I don't trust all of you beautiful people. It's just, you know, I don't trust some of you beautiful people. The hackers in the audience, because they're everywhere. They loom. Nick, welcome in, and thanks for being a very, very, very vital part of this community. Talks a lot on Telegram. Does a lot of charting and such and such and such and so on. So you should get at him if you have any questions, too. But he's a lot of stuff. Do I prefer BITUNIX over BLOFIN? Not even a question. They're not even in the same league. Fee-wise, you're going to get... In comparison, it's a little different on, you know. It's all an illusion. Maybe you should start putting the CFTC rule on your video stating it's not financial advice. Yeah, maybe. I do say I'm not a financial advisor in my videos, but, you know, maybe I'm going to have to do something like that. You never know. This has happened before. This happened like 3 months before the new year. It happened right at the new year again. Well, every time the warning goes away, they just find another video that's 3-4 years old and say the same crap. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Shadowheads says the news drives the market. Buy and hold for future gains. We go in the next 6 months. So cold wallet your bags. Love to all for what's to come. Excellent. Yeah, this is where it's absolutely, there's no problem like that. Trying to find your spot. You got to find your spot, especially like right now we're seeing some of these inverse patterns. And I'm telling you, I feel like Ethereum was trying to fake us to the downside, and it just seems like a trap down. It really does. So I was hoping that we could do something here in this live, because I feel like Filecoin for sure is trying to push out of here, and I think that's what's happening. We have these big inverse patterns. I know Nick is here. Nick, you like Filecoin, damn it. And so do I. And I like Theta as well. And they both look like they're getting ready to pop here. If they pop to the top side. And like you said, there's way too many short positions right now. And I feel comfortable here because we came down and we hit that drop we needed to have. Now, we didn't need to go all the way down. We came down to the first level to validate that. Well, actually like the 5th level. But we validated the uptrend on the reversal up that was leading us out of the breakout. So it kind of feels like we're just early right now, and in a couple days we're going to be like, holy shit, I'm glad we seen that. Yeah, now Ethereum broke 2,600. See, and it was only at, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It looks like that inverse head and shoulder is there. It has a golden cross in the daily. So, like, I think this is a big setup to the downside right now, it feels like. And we knew it was going to drop, but we shouldn't be prepared for a bigger drop if You know, I was bullish before the drop too, and now it gave us a much better position on Filecoin. That's the crazy thing. Like, Filecoin's giving us a beautiful spot. Nick, remember when you were mad and I was mad when it came down and then it was back over $3 again, all of a sudden $3.30, and we seen it at $2, $2.50, especially here we talked about it, here we talked about it, here I don't know why we didn't buy it. And now that we, oh, fuck, it's so crazy. The drop definitely seals the deal because look, that inverse head and shoulders is there. It is, and look how much it's dropped. This is crazy. And eventually, it's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to happen, and we're not going to be at these prices. This is exactly how I felt in the mining stocks. Look at this. This is exactly how I felt in the mining stocks right before it exploded. I mean, look at that. If that doesn't tell you where we're at right now and how close we are, like, why I put it in the title today for Filecoin. I don't know the last time I put File and Theta in the title. And my title today was XRP Bitcoin Crypto Look to Close Daily Bullish. File Theta Inverse Head and Shoulders Overdue for Breakout. I almost think I did that so I'd have to stare at it for a fucking hour and be like, you know, Tom. But what I can do here, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause this live. I'm going to log into my account and then I'm going to hit play. So you guys aren't going to be able to see anything. I didn't go away, but it's the only way that I can log into my BITUNIX and do what I need to do. So I'm going to pause this. If you leave, you leave. But I can't let anybody see what I'm doing, so I'll be back. Okay. Hopefully you guys stuck around. Let me know if you can see me or not. Let me know if you can see me. Everything should be good. And I've transferred almost everything back. I think I have like 31,000 on BitUNIX now because I've been sending everything back over. And so, okay, we're good. Excellent. Excellent. So I figured that would be the easiest way. So what I'm looking at here is Filecoin. So where Filecoin's at, and if this inverse head and shoulders ended up not panning out, you know, it's not the end of the world if we wanted to sell it and ride it back down. It's not. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a drop. But in the grand scheme of things, this looks like it's setting up. I mean, you see in a similar fashion here. It was just early, but it still popped and came back down. This was almost a gift second chance here. So this is almost a gift. So File broke out, the descending channel back tested the breakout. The triangle pattern was bullish as fuck, but the drop was amazing. Oh, I know, it's crazy where it's at right now. So I think Filecoin's one that it's the one that I like right here. Let's see. But I don't really want to do anything until the daily closes. That's the thing. Like, we're on the daily. And we have 47 minutes. And I want to see, let's see where we're at in the shorter time frame, because this is where you don't want to jump the gun. Oh no, the 30 minutes already popping up here. This is nice. It's right at the resistance line. Like, this is literally, it's right there even in the smaller time frame. So it's going to bounce up at some point, and you're just going to want to have it for when you back test it too. That's Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Sean, Filecoin I'm looking at right now. And I think I'm gonna take a flyer on it, to be honest with you. There might be a few of them during this live I take a flyer on, but we'll see. And the cool thing about BITUNIX, link is in the video description below. Is File even out? Yeah, File's here, I was gonna say. Is that even if I make the wrong decision, I can sell it with practically no fee. So right now I have 7,700 or so in cash. But I've got, I've got 30,000 in cash, but 22,236 is locked up in USDC. But I'm not going to spend 22,000 on this trade. So let's see. I think 2,220 tokens might be a just amount. Symbolic. Let's see. 263. That should be able to be filled on the very bottom. I'm not going to go up too high. Honestly. That should be filled by one of these. I don't need to get bare bottom, but it should be filled by some of that. We'll see. Because the order block is backed up. You can see it there, and for some reason, there's a little lull there. I seen it, too. That's why I didn't want to go to 2. I know it's going to fill at 640, but I don't want to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to see if it comes back down to me so I can even it up. Because if I put it to 640, it's going to go. That's what it wants me to do. I know you said that Uphold has high fees. Do the fees occur when you transfer stable to fiat or fiat to bank? No, the fees occur when you sell your position. So if you're in a position and you sell it back to your stable coin, that's when it happens. Sending it from your position to your bank, I mean, unless you want to quick roll it, you shouldn't even have to pay too many fees, honestly. Look, they don't want to fill my order because they want to sell it. No seller wants to sell it where I have it. Fine, I'll put it at 264. Yeah, see that? I don't like that. I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt going higher. 99 cents if less than $500 on buying other assets like RLUSD. It's an easy chart to read and predict, not as volatile. Absolutely, Mandoline. Yeah, this isn't a leverage position. This isn't leverage. I don't like the leverage too much. Let's see. It's really not going to fill it at that level. It's really going to make me go up the higher. I'm not going to. I'll come back to this. That's where it's got to be specific. So the fact it's not letting me fill right there, what's the reason? Unless there's about to be a spike in a candle, which is probably what the case could be. Oh, that's probably why. But yeah, sorry this is taking so long. See, you can see the process, but see how the buy orders are coming up because they're not filling if they go a little bit lower. I'm stubborn though. I wanted 2,220. I won't be as stubborn. I'll just do 264.4. Let them have the win. Because I honestly don't care about a few pennies. I told you that's what they wanted the market. 264.4, and now it's going to come right back down until some other asshole fills it. But it'll bring up the ones. But anyhow, so that cost me $11 because they wanted to bring the price up. Whatever. I played into their game and lost $11, but you see what just happened there. So 2,218 tokens. Oh, so it filled less than I wanted by 2 tokens, those bastards. But anyhow, so yeah, we'll see what happens there, and then we'll look at these charts a little bit further. We'll look at it a little bit further. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Let that be a lesson in how to do BITUNIX while you're doing this. I got to do the intro, but first I seen a couple of donations, which I'm really grateful for. MC Prosperity, thank you for the $20 donation. Said, great job, Tom. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm glad to see you in here as well. You've been here for a very, 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 very long time. So it's always good to see you in here. Sir Smokes a lot, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Says L3 been ripping too. Interesting. Hey Tom, quick clarification question. I know you said that I'll pull that's high fees. Do the fees occur when you transfer stable to fee? Like to me, the biggest fees happen when you're selling your asset. Like buying's not as bad, but when you have an asset, let's just say you buy XRP on there. When you sell it, the fees are outrageous. The selling fees are what I complain about all the time. The rest of it is doable. The selling fees, not doable. So it's basically, for me, it's selling my asset back in to get into a position to where I can take it off the exchange. But I don't know. I haven't been on there in a while. But I have an issue with that because Julie still has 1,000 XRP that are stuck on there. Because when she was taking all of her assets off, it wouldn't let her take off the last 1,000 XRP, and it still hasn't. That was back in like February of 24, and they've frozen her out of her account, and they won't even respond. And then they say the only way to get a new ticket is to go on and sign up. But then when you try to sign up, it says, unfortunately, we had to make tough decisions. There's a lot of people who have been through the same thing, so be careful with Uphold. Joseph, thank you for the $5 donation. Then there's a lot of people who have been just fine, so you never quite can tell. Maria, how far are we going to buy dip in XRP? I'm not buying none of these dips. I made my purchases with XRP when it was at 34 and 38 cents. And this is basically just a holding time for me. I've got what I need what I've got. And I mean, it's a tough call to buy XRP here. I mean, these support structures haven't been bad. If it holds this 220 area on a breakout, it's a perfect area. Like in the way I redid it too, you can see how it kind of brought it down a little bit. And in the shorter time frames, it looks like it's over. You know? But that was just the way that I did it earlier. To show it with the like that. And I think that's relevant because it technically has popped up. And in current times. But I still think getting over 220 is important. That's the 200-day right there. So in the smaller time frames. But it's at a point where if it does break out here, this will be the lowest price you're going to get for a very long time. Because if it breaks out from here, we're going to I-265. And then ultimately, if we're only in a second wave and we're trying to push out in a third wave here, like we're trying to kind of think, this is how we get back up in here. So you see how we broke down here in the smaller time frames? This is how you get back up here. Right now, it's nothing more than the back test of a breakdown. But if we can get back up in here, this is how you can confirm a bigger move again. This is where you have to get back above this pattern. This is our chance right now. And a lot of other cryptos as well. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening here, if it's a fake out or not. But it'll be fun to watch. Good evening. 7:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, June 2nd, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Pop Willie said, oof, I got money I forgot about on BITUNIX. I'm going in again on file 2, Tom. I know, and it's the reason why I wanted to buy it now is because I always forget about it, and I see the formation it's in, and I'll be damned if I forget about it again. The other one that I'm watching, and it's like, am I being too hard on this one? And I don't think I am. I might be, because look, if it holds here, but I still think this was looking to back test here. But if this isn't an outlier, look how this broke that structure, which means then when you go back here, isn't it possible that these break the structure? But then again, they're set up in a different fashion. But then again, if you look at them in the smaller time frames, I could see a bear flag possibly. But if you look at it farther out, that would just be the last extension to a push. I mean, it's in such a weird spot. This way you have to kind of take a leap of faith, like I was saying. So, and the other one is data. Like at some point, At some point, that's the one that I'm sitting here and having a problem with, because I can feel it here. I kind of feel it with data in a way that it's hitting a bottoming phase. And that's a nice reversal here. And now it's up over that 14.3 level. This is what I wanted to see, and this is kind of a confirmation in a way, because the daily's showing that reversal. Now, are you jumping the gun here and could it reverse on you? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. But that's why we're here talking. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I may be a shlew, I may be not. But, God, why does it feel like that? Looks like to me like a ZBC on MXC prior to its big breakout. Am I wrong? Look how far this is. Just like, I'm looking for the big guns right now. Like Filecoin, Theta, Data, how far they've dropped. And if these are the reversals, Lord have fucking mercy. I keep saying it, Lord have mercy. I know, Crypto Cruder, and that's what I keep thinking too. The only question I had is if it was going to come down and create that last part on a drop. But honestly, it's not. It seems like we were patient. We didn't buy it up here. And now we're getting rewarded with a 20% drop. And now we're like, is it going to go farther? I don't know, man. I've been watching it all weekend too, and I kind of feel it too. That's the problem. And I've got the capital there, so if I lose the money, it's not, whatever. Because I'm just holding the position anyhow. And I wanted to buy it when it got the confirmation at 1437. Well, what other confirmation can I get at that level besides a daily reversal here where it broke new high? Did that break the new high? It's right there. Like, that's going to be a nice close there. The short term, yep. Well, that's the question about data. Is that an M? That's the question. That's what we're asking. You bought at 0.139 and was pissed. 0.01. I'm assuming you're talking about, why were you pissed? I bought but worried it was going to drop out, but I'll pick up again. Just blows off its drop. Could get 2x as much. Yeah. No, I know what you guys mean, because it's definitely, you know, something's happening here. And it had a nice that's the thing, like there was a nice consolidation, so it's not like it didn't happen. You know, that consolidation happened. No, so could I have. I've been watching this too, and I've seen it tap here. We're doing this, and we're like, we could buy here. We can wait for the validation. I mean, it's in the grand scheme, it doesn't matter. The move from the very tip to here, unless you're waiting to buy it all the way back up when it goes up 40%, and then you decide, and then it rolls back. But right now, this is anywhere from here. This is the leap of faith if you take it, and you'd be looking for that return back up here at least 30%. The bottom to drop out's like 9%, so it's like a 30% move on an 8.9% risk. I mean, all day that's like a 3.5 to 1. So even on that gamble, it makes sense. It's just, if it were to fall out, we know where it could go. But then, like, when I studied this a little farther and I actually looked at this, you know, and didn't have it exactly drawn out like that when I was just messing around. And then I started looking at it kind of like this. And every time I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? There's only been a couple of points on each side. At worst, even if it was 70% of the move to fall out, it's the same as when it's going up. It's got to be, you know, you're looking for 70% of the move to break out or break down. And we're not 70% of the move. We're barely 50% of the move, no matter how I draw this out. So in that case, even if we're bearish, we should go up one more layer. So once I started thinking that, I'm like, you know what? And this daily is showing a pretty strong reversal in the daily. Now what's going to end up happening, you know, so. Oh, I know I want to, Frankie. This is what I do when I'm buying it, too. This is exactly what I do even when I'm by myself. I convince myself. I have to convince myself. And now I'm hearing myself talk, and what I'm seeing with Ethereum has helped me gain the courage, too, because we've been speculating that this should circle and rotate up. And it bounced off of here. Now this would be the second or third confirmation on this move. And then it's like, if I buy, how much am I looking to buy of data? So at 0.0 or 0.14, what is that? 100,000 tokens would cost what? 1,400 bucks, 1,500 bucks. Oh no, trust me. Trust me, who said that? Where's this at? Yeah, Sir Smokeslot, trust me, I get that big time. I get that. I definitely get that. That's why I started with Filecoin, because I knew I could convince myself, maybe not because it's the better move, but just because I was looking at that as well, and I seen that big inverse. But all of these still make me nervous. That, you know, that's not the bottom line. I'm glad that it dropped out like it did. I'll tell you that much. In the last few days, I'm glad it dropped out from this level. You know, and it's not sitting around here anymore, because that was a 20-something% drop. And, you know, that might have been the gift drop, too. That could have been the gift drop. In the daily sense, let me just look at it one more time. It's a nice reversal in the daily, no doubt about it. Beautiful reversal in the 4-hour. That's a bull flag. This should easily carry us up over the 1.5 mark. We're going to have to see how this exhausted the wick too. Like, what goes down must come up. What comes up must go down. Like, that's a big wick exhaustion. So we're going to melt ourselves back up there eventually, even if we're bearish. So, I mean, you're right about that. It's probably, no matter what, going to end up at that 200-day in the 4-hourly to either get a rejection up here or to break out. Let's see. See, now the Filecoin's back to even. So I didn't fucking care about their stupid game. So then when I want to use something, I will go to USDC. I'll sell it. Oops. Sell USD. Now we'll go to data. Let's see, what is 222,000? That's like 3,200. No. Wait a minute, that's too much. Probably still too much. How much did I do? 5,400 and something. No, I don't want 372. 5,400. I don't want to sell it. How did I get to sell? Let's see. What's the right number? I don't know. 372,220. Yeah, that sounds like the right number to me for some reason. Sounds like the right number. So based on what I have up there, I'll put it up a little bit. 1,451 is as high as I'll go, though. Maybe not even that high. I want to see something. This kind of helps you see the liquidity pool when you try this. What did I do? Delete that? What the fuck did I do? mean, that seems fair. How's going on? I must be doing something wrong. Unless I'm resetting it on accident, not realizing it. 01449. We're trying to buy. Oh, I'm resetting it. Where the hell's... Oh! It's sideways. Duh. I'm looking for the other part of the screen. It's sideways. I'm so stupid. Yeah, why can't I buy it? What the hell's going on? I'm gonna have to reset this. I'm not confusing myself. What the fuck's going on? No, when I'm using my phone, I never have an issue, but, you know. Oh, there we go. I was going to say the buy data part was gone. You've seen it on the bottom. It's fine. I confused it. Understandably. 144. 1449. Oh, it filled it right away. I'll be fucking damned. Where's it at? 2,000. 372,442. Okay. There you go. Why did I put it above the price? Oh, because it'll fill it. It'll fill it. I'm 144. I like to see what it does. 1447 is what it filled it at. So 1447. It's within the Oh, you can nickel and dime them. I'm not judging you. If data drops under our weekend drop, I'm out. Well, yeah, yep, absolutely, Crypto Cooter. I agree with that. But if anything, I don't mind losing a couple dollars to show everybody. I've been asked these questions all the time about how to use the platform. So, it is what it is. But if you want to use it, it's in the pinned comments below of this video of exactly what I use. Mining stocks had a great day today. Great day today. B2 Gold finally got over that big resistance up at 360. We have a lot of movement today. Just a lot of movement. Some of the mining stocks were up 11 and 12%. 7%. 6 and 6 for the gold. It was just a nice day. This close looks like we're heading in the right direction. Looks like we're heading in the right direction. But yeah. Yeah, like 144, 1447. I don't care. If it's in the 144 range, by all means, nickel and dime it. Let's see. XDC is still trying. It's still trying. DGB definitely looks like it could be starting to reverse here as well. We're looking to see if we can bounce off of this. Remember L-Bank? If you're looking, at least you'll get the opportunity without the extraordinary fee. There's still fees. It's not like BITUNIX, but... So, I mean, that's where we're looking. I want to make sure I get to XCN as well. That was the last one I really wanted to look at. Because it's back testing this descending triangle breakout. Looks like an inverse head and shoulders. And it looks like it's getting ready to break out here. So, that was the other one that I wanted to look at here this evening. And take a look. Because I do think that this could possibly be doing the same thing. Now, is it going to break out or falter? I don't know. I don't know, but how many of you have been watching XCN right now? It's the first time I've been intrigued in a long time watching this chart, so I figured I'd bring it up today. No, yes, maybe so. No. So that's I guess that's that with this, because that's what I'm looking at with if this is an inverse head and shoulders here as well, and it looks like it very much is. Seems like a big inverse head and shoulders to me. So you'll just have to watch this, you know, do your own due diligence. I'm gonna go with Julie because our son fell asleep, but I want to go help her with something. She's outside and she needs my help. She just walked back inside. But I very well might get a little bit of something here too with XCN, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'll look at it, but it looks like it's in that positioning as well. So we'll see what happens. The best thing I can tell you is with data, if it breaks down, there's no reason to hold it. If this breaks down and it ends up breaking not just the weekend low, but if it breaks this formation at 137 and you're in a spot position, you could probably just sell it and see if it breaks through here and goes all the way down. I'm just being straight with you, because you're not going to want to hold it for too long if it breaks this, because this is a nice bullish push here. And with this bull flag breakout, assuming this plays true, you should at least be able to get out of this small area and start to retest up here. And I know it's not that far, but it's up near that 1.5 level. So now you're pushing to the next small decimal. But I hope this helped. In some small way, I hope this helped. And I hope you gained a little bit of knowledge here and you have a little bit of better understanding of how to trade. You know, it's not all cut and dry. You know, there's no right answer. There's a lot of different variables, for sure. Bitcoin right now at 105,855. Still got to watch to make sure it doesn't rotate down and come down to this 90K area. Nothing's convincing yet. This is like you're buying it, you're looking, and then understanding that even if you miss it on this move, but you sell it for the bottom, as long as you're not getting roped and ripped off with fees, you can control the market. But Bitcoin, it's still not bearish yet. Like, it hasn't completely broken down. It's still trying to hold on to this 20-day here. So if it breaks down further in XCN, Shane, good question. If it breaks down farther in XCN and it doesn't hold this, you're going to have to come down to this uptrend, and you're looking at about a 28%. What is it? No, it might be a little farther than that. It depends where it hits. I'd say it'd be somewhere out. Yeah, about 25% drop. Be looking for 25%. But I mean, where it's at, this is what you'd be looking at for a buy, an entry in this area. And the fact that it's back testing the breakout here and it did it in that fashion, it almost looks like it's winding up in a very quick fashion. So I would keep some serious attention there. That is an inverse head and shoulders. I know you all can see it. I can see it. Remember when I was a skeptic and said don't buy it after that big rally? But before the rally, good. Now we've had that big correction. Now we're back testing where it's looking to break out of the inverse right arm. This is, if you were looking for something in some kind of confluency, this is what you're looking for. Now, if it breaks this uptrend, you're going for a complete pattern reset, and then you're in some trouble. But until that happens, we're in a great spot. You know? And then if it breaks down to the 1.3 or 1.16, well, that's the uptrend of the breakout of the move, so that's fine. That has to happen sometimes. But the fact we already hit it here is great corroboration. And then if this is the inverse right arm, that means the inverse head validated the uptrend. This validated the breakout, and then we end up coming way up back here. It would be a big move. Like from here, this is where you could get the cream of the crop, because remember, this has a long way to go still. This is just that rebuy back in for some who didn't get it or some that sold to buy back, you know. So it's oh yeah, there's tons of people probably waiting that are stuck up here. But now if they're going to get out, and then it's just going to go right back into the next phase, because it's going to have to come up here to 5.2 and then probably up to the next area. So you're absolutely right. So I think that move's going to be baked in one way or the other. So just pay attention. I got to go help Julie, though. I don't want to keep her waiting any longer. Thank you all so much. It's going to get dark, so we got to finish this. Have a blessed evening, you all.